Do you hear that?
Someone's fighting up ahead. Come on! Rain!
Wait for me!
Incredible.
That was really something.
Judging by that display, I don't think he needs any help from us. I take it that's another school of Imperial swordsmanship?
Right. That's court fencing, an agile style favored by the nobility. And judging by his poise, he's no amateur.
Huh?
Did you need something?
Sorry, I was just admiring your swordsmanship. I'm Reen Schwarzer. I didn't get the chance to introduce myself earlier.
I'm Elliot Craig.
Guy Schwarzel, nice to meet you.
I believe I have already introduced myself, but once again, I'm Jusis Albarea. And I have to say, I didn't think you had it in you. I'm impressed.
What are you talking about?
After all that bluster about finding your way to the exit alone, I wasn't expecting you to actually rely on others for help. I assume you came to your senses shortly after you stormed off, and then wandered back to apologize like a good boy. Truly, the virtue of the common man. Why, a preening noble such as myself would be far too proud to do such a thing.
What the hell is your problem? You nobles really are all the same. So full of yourselves, it's a wonder you don't pop. And you're not just a garden variety noble either. House Albarea is one of the highest ranking in the country. I'll bet you just love looking down on us less fortunate souls, don't you?
You're one to talk. I don't need a lecture in rank from the son of the Imperial Governor.
Wait, what?
Oh, I thought the name Regnitz sounded familiar.
Karl Regnitz, the first commoner ever to hold the seat of Imperial Governor in Heimdall. The first to rule the capital. And this headstrong young lad just so happens to be a chip off that old block. Pretty rarefied air for a simple commoner, don't you think?
What does that have to do with anything? Yes, my father is the Imperial Governor, but he earned that position through years of hard, honest work. Don't you go lumping him in with you nepotists who get your titles handed to you just for being born.
Perish the thought. No, I mainly just regard your father as a reformist, and a close friend of the Chancellor at that. And as you're vividly aware, his faction is in conflict with the noble faction, led by none other than the four great houses. When you look at it that way, your vitriolic disdain for the nobility suddenly seems rather cheap, wouldn't you say?
You son of a...
Magius, don't do it!
God!
I know he's taunting you, but lashing out at him isn't going to solve anything. And Jusis, don't you think that was a little uncalled for?
I wasn't the one who started this.
Let me... Damn it, just let me go already! I'm sorry, okay? Just leave me alone for a while. You guys should just go on ahead with him.
Oh.
I think you went a little too far, Jusis. Being at odds with Machias is one thing, but dragging his father into it is pretty low. You're better than that.
Perhaps I was a bit out of line. It would seem I still have much to learn.
Huh?
You look shocked. Why?
Well, you're the son of Duke Albarea, right? I wasn't expecting the son of a noble to admit he was wrong. Wait, no, that came out wrong. I'm sorry.
There's no need to address me so formally. We may come from different social spheres, but here at this academy we're supposed to be on equal standing. Or so the idea goes, anyway.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, yes, I'm with you all the way there.
Is class really that big a deal here in the Empire?
It is. This country has a long history, and the class system has been one of its central institutions for most of that. So what are you going to do, Jusis? Makia said to go with you, but I don't want to press you into coming along if you don't want to.
I was intending to press on to the exit by myself, but I'd prefer not to mimic the actions of his ilk, so I'll accompany you.
What? I'm just surprised we're worthy of your company. I mean, I'm looking forward to having you on the team.
Let's just go with that.
We should get moving then. Come on.
working order. Crow did say I should take someone else along to give me a hand. Not sure how busy everyone is, though. Let's see. Who should I try asking first? Alright, might as well see if they're free. Hey, it's Reen. I've got a little favor to ask.
I'd expected this vehicle to be a crude imitation of proper horse riding. But it isn't so bad after all.
That's quite the compliment coming from you. Speaking of horses, are you sure it's okay for you to come out with me? You were in the middle of helping out the riding club, weren't you?
The riding club's contribution is largely organized by second-year volunteers. I'm sure they'll be fine on their own. Besides, if you intend to stuff me into one of these outfits anyway, I might as well help you retrieve them.
Makes sense, especially since you'll have so much time in the spotlight during your duet with Machias.
Which is a waking nightmare. Having to sing with him is insult enough, but if this costume is embarrassing, be prepared to suffer the consequences.
I wouldn't worry if I were you. The guy's costumes will probably suit you better than anyone else.
That doesn't sound encouraging.
Well, you'll see.
Sorry to make you guys come all this way to pick these up. I think you'll be pretty happy with the way they turned out, though.
Fantastic! I can't wait to see them. We really appreciate you making these for us so quickly.
Much appreciated.
This was no sweat compared to what Crow put me through last year. He had me working like a madman. Last year's concert was great, though, so you can bet that I'll be there to see if you kids can top that. But man, did you base the design on something you pulled out of this guy's wardrobe, or what? Put this thing on, and you'll look like the young nobleman all the other young noblemen want to be.
It'll look great on you, I swear.
Why did I agree to this?
A bird? What the...
What are you doing, Reen? If you're done staring blankly off into the distance, I could use some help getting these into the sidecar.
Right, on it. I just got distracted by a strange bird on that lamppost, that's all.
What was strange about it?
I've just never seen a bird with feathers that color before. It was a really deep blue, almost like lapis lazuli.
Well, if nothing else, it does sound like a rare breed. But what would it be doing here in Heimdall, though?
Who knows?
Oh, what do we have here?
Misty.
It's been a while, hasn't it, Rain? Thanks for not using my real name. If people here in the capital were to overhear you, I'd be drowning in fans in no time flat.
Sure, mum's the word. Fancy meeting you here, though. I assume you're here to shop?
You guessed it. This store does have a branch in Trista, but this one has a much better selection. What about you? What are you doing with those suitcases? Two buddies going off on an exciting adventure together, huh? To be a teenager again.
You're gravely mistaken.
We're here on business, actually.
Wow, a concert, huh? That sounds like a blast. I'd love to drop by the festival and see it myself. I might be able to go if I can free up a bit of space in my schedule.
It'd be great to have you. Although I can't imagine a professional like you would be terribly impressed.
Oh, don't be silly. Great music comes from the heart. Whoops, lost track of the time. I better get going. Well, bye for now. Be sure to tune in tomorrow.
Of course, I always do.
So that was the famous Azure Diva, was it? But if that's Vita, then who exactly is Misty?
Well, it's complicated.
I see. I imagine learning that their star singer ran a radio program would send the entire Opera House staff into conniptions.
Sounds like she does it just for a weekly change of pace. Even though tomorrow's Friday, right? But don't they only broadcast Abendtime on Sundays?
Do they? Well, perhaps she'll be making an appearance on some other program.
Maybe. Well, it doesn't matter. We should head back to Trista. I'm sure everyone's waiting for us.
I suppose that's true. We have to try on our outfits after all. If there's a single aspect of mine that I dislike, you will hear about it.
Sure. I'm sure you'll like it, though.
Hiya! Hiya! Hiya!
I'll handle this.
Hiya!
A matter of course. If we have to. Draw a card. Go ahead then. Now you've done it. Take this! We have the same score. Let's redraw. Go ahead then. We have the same score. Let's redraw. We have the same score. Let's redraw. Go ahead then. Now you've done it. We have the same score. Let's redraw. We have the same score. Let's redraw. We have the same score. Let's redraw. Go ahead then. We have the same score. Let's redraw. I'll be going first. Now you've done it. At least it wasn't a complete waste of time.
Well, shall we begin? Please draw a card. After you, Masterine. So that's how you want to play. I'm using a bolt. my, I should have been more careful. I'm using a bolt. Oh my, I should have been more careful. Now then, how will you react to this? So that's how you want to play? So that's how you want to play? Splendid! A well-deserved victory!
Jusis,
Reen?
I'm surprised you're not dancing. I thought that would be your first stop after such a long chat with Rufus.
We had a number of things to discuss. Though I could say the same about you. I would expect you to have invited someone to dance with you by now.
I tried asking Elise, but she shot me down pretty quickly. After a day like today, I feel like we owe ourselves a chance to sit down. Here to join me? You can't tell me you don't think a cold drink and a rest would cap today off perfectly.
You make a compelling argument. You and my desire to escape all of this noise.
Then let's get out of here.
They certainly have an endless supply of enthusiasm, don't they?
I'm guessing most people are starting to get tired, but they don't want to miss out on their chance to have fun. We've spent so much time and effort to prepare, and then the 2 days of the festival itself just seemed to fly by.
I suppose you have a point.
Oh, by the way, you know how you were talking to your brother earlier? What were you two chatting about?
Nothing much. The horses we've been raising in the riding club, our concert, and other such things. He was particularly surprised when I walked onto the stage wearing that outfit. Once his laughter subsided, he told me he couldn't have imagined me doing anything like that before I joined the academy.
Well, at least he had fun.
But he does have a point. I do believe I've changed since we all first met.
I agree. At the start of the year, you had a very unapproachable air about you, but that's not the case anymore.
I'm certain that's due to the influence of some very atypical nobles, particularly Laura and yourself.
I don't know if I deserve any credit for that. I'm just glad that I can call you a friend.
It's a small wonder how you always manage to say those kinds of things with a straight face. Regardless, I do want to thank you.
For what?
When I first came to this academy, I was trying to live my life as a perfect Albarea, just as my brother had taught me. But I gradually learned to exert my individuality. I'm here as Jusis Albarea, not the son of Duke Albarea. Had I not spent so much time with Class 7, and with you in particular, I never would have come into my own.
I'm so happy to hear you say that. Well, here's to changing for the better.
Agreed. We both have room for improvement, but that's what next year is for.
We're going to be great.
Don't lose your composure over something like this. You gave me the courage to step out from beneath my father's shadow. You won't be defeated here. I won't allow it. We are nobles, and we have a duty to our land and to our people. Show me, Reen, what noblesse oblige means to you!
Jusis!